Oh heck, a big monster coming my way back then. Oh dear, there was no way I was going to pass it, so I just had to duck into the little hollow in the hedge. Fortunately there was a bank there, but I met the tractor thing a couple of 100 meters up here. I'd walk all the way back to let it pass, but anyhow, on we go. Just parked up at Libanus on the A470, South Wales, Brecon Beacons, just down from Brecon. I'm just making my way along these little lanes, probably a couple of kilometres in total, before kind of really starting the proper walk in the hills. I'm making my way up toward Corndu, but from the north side, and tonight I plan to camp right next to the little lake, just in the shadow of Corndu, just below where the obelisk is marked on the map. Hi, I'm Warren Brand and welcome to another Linleys video. Just ahead is Penmillan. Now I have come off the top of that a couple of times. Don't think I've ever been up. I'm not going to go up this time. I'm going to head up to the little lake. But I come down off Penmillan. I remember the sign there with Dan, I think, and Rob in the past year or two back now. This is a lovely grassy path. There's quite a lot of earthwork evidence somehow, for some reason. I don't know if it's an ancient kind of trackway or something, or water management to manage water flow off the top, I don't know. But there's certainly quite a lot of earthwork. The sun is just dipping the other side of sort of the Penmillan ridge bit, and Corndu is further up. It's mid-afternoon. There's another couple of hours of light left. I've timed this so that I get to the little lake kind of around about sunset, so I should be okay setting my tent up without being disturbed. Gorgeous view down into the lowlands there. The rutted nature of this land is most peculiar. I don't know whether they're watercourses that have made these ruts, or they are man-made earthworks. I don't know. The shapes of the watercourse or earthworks may not come out on camera, I don't know. Anyhow, crack on, Warren, keep on going. Bit more to do. Now, I've got to look out for a path junction in about a kilometre, but there's 12 contour lines to cross, so I do, well, something like a kilometre, 4 kilometres an hour, so 15 minutes for the kilometre, plus notionally another 12 minutes. So I've got half an hour of plodding on this way up before I need to take the side kind of continuous route just up to the little lake. Oh, prickly bushes. Oh, prickly bushes. Well, just been looking at the map just a few moments ago, just checking progress and stuff, you know, and I spot on the map an indication of a settlement. It says settlement in that old writing, and I think that's it there. And I'm just putting sort of 2 and 2 together. Might be getting more than 4 there, but would those old trackway earthworkings have come up to the settlement from the valley? Well, that's a possibility, isn't it? Anyhow, let's crack on. we're at the little junction that I was looking out for. Not really much of a junction really. The kind of main path up to Penmillan does an up here and turns around and snakes its way that way a bit, and then up to the top, the high top ridge there. Well, that's the way I've come down before, but not going that way. No, gonna go a sort of contour hug in now. I think there's a path. It's marked with a path on the map. I can't just see it, but I need to get over to the side a little bit more. Heading up to the lake. I can't see where the lake is. It'll be mid-height on the bank there. I can see Corndoo, and around Penifan is all in the mist, so can't be seeing that, unfortunately. It's nice though. Hey, just there would be an okay spot for a tent, sheltered. Not for me, not right now, but you know, bad weather, got stuck somehow, wanted to come off the top. That would be an okay place. Let's keep going. Keep on going. I'm back on the path here. I came across that that curve, breaking away from the high ridge Penmillan path, a fraction high, unfortunately. So I've just contour hugged, rejoined this path. Now I still can't see Corndoo because it's completely clagged out. I can see kind of where the lake is. It's round the other side of this little headland, so a little bit more to do. There are some people on the Penmillan Ridge route up there. They've come off Corndoo. Yeah, I came just a little bit too high. I came off the top of that gorse area, followed the path, and then instead of coming along this slightly lower path, I just took the slightly higher route. Well, that's all right, no big deal. Here now, and on the way that way next. Well, those targets certainly are old. I'm pleased I dipped down and had a look at them a little bit. Having been high, I'm slightly low now. Well, not low, because straight ahead of me, I'm contour hugging, is the dip over round to the little lake. Next point of reference, I didn't know there was a cairn there, but there's a cairn at this junction. This is the way up. I'm keeping left, sort of straight on, contour hugging-ish, going up actually to the little lake. Still can't see it, of course. It'll be tucked behind some, you know, a rocky lip, and then to the side here is the way up to Corndoo. That's the bit of headland that I've just been working my way around. So we're getting there, about 300-400 metres to the lake, and I think about 6-5 maybe contours to cross as well, so not too far. Almost there to the little lake. This will be the lake overflow runoff, little brook stream. Right on the skyline I can see little Tommy Jones's obelisk, put there in, when did he die? 1907, I can't remember exactly. I can see that, and there's some people coming down the steep path, coming down this way, presumably to the lake. We should see the lake in about 30 seconds. And here we are by the little lake. Oh, fantastic. There's still quite a bit of light left. Need to find a pitch. I'll do that next. I've layered up at least one windproof layer. I'll put another layer on in a short time. Tent, that's next. And then hot chocolate. Yeah. I'm in. Nice to be in the tent. And I'm now going to get my hot chocolate going. The wind's picked up. I've got my outer door completely closed down. The wind actually howls about. The forecast is gusting up to 40 something, 42 I think, whatever, when I checked earlier on this morning when I was looking, but I've been out in worse than that. Let's have a look at what's for dinner. Kind of got my usual sort of general combo. So let's start with the chicken pieces. There's quite a lot there actually, but once I've opened it, so I will eat it all. To go with that, I've got a mushroom rice. I haven't got any other, whoa, windy, oh dear. I haven't got any other veg, any other mushrooms, so I thought I'd go for this mushroom rice. It's okay, it's not my favourite, but it adds an extra dimension. And I've got this sweet and sour Blue Dragon sauce pot to go in. So that's kind of main meal. For dessert, I've got 2 apple pies. Now you'll see that they're in a little plastic pot so that they are intact. And of course, you won't be surprised, I've got some custard. That's my breakfast. And look, lurking over here, there is a beer. I haven't opened that yet. I think that's next. Yeah. Cheers. Hopefully that's not too lively. No, lovely. Cheers. Oh, cold. Cold. Oh yeah. I can sit up in the Sulu. It's more than I can say about my Acto. I have to sort of wedge my head in the lobby in my Acto, but here I can sit up, which is great for drinking beer. Well, that's in its little pot, ready to get up to a bit of temperature. Don't know. Now what I'll do is I will add just a small amount of water in the pan as well. Ugh. Well, What do you do in a tent in the winter when you're stuck inside for hours? I pitched my tent at about, what would that have been, about 4:15. It's now, must be, well, it's now 10 to 7. So what have I done in the period of time between I pitched my tent and now? Well, clearly I've done some videoing. So for me, you know, stopping and starting the camera, moving things around, everything seems to just take longer than it might be if I was just not videoing. So kind of allowing for that. What have I done in the time? Well, I have a bit of a strategy for just enjoying the time in my tent. It doesn't have to be arduous, it doesn't have to be boring, there doesn't have to be lots of entertainment. It's just simply chilling and relaxing and just letting the time go by, allowing things to take longer, not being in a rush. So much of the equipment, you know, especially cooking pots, is all about how quick and how little fuel to use. Oh my goodness, it's windy. Why be in a rush? I've got my lovely old Trangia. It's not the quickest of cooking systems. It's pretty good, to be honest. It is actually pretty good, but it's certainly not the quickest. And why does it need to be? With my good old trusty Trangia, obviously the one burner, but multiple pots. So I've got the rice in one and the chicken in the other. Windy woo. Yeah, but it can do what it wants. It's not peaceful here, is it? With all this kind of whoosh and blare with the wind. But, you know, just letting the world go by, letting the wind do its thing. It's so peaceful. There are no aeroplanes going over. It's not like some of those camping spots I pick in on Kinder Plateau or around about Kinder, where there's Manchester Airport with the aeroplanes buzzing over sometimes. It's just, there's nobody here. Well, there were some lads further over. I think they're camping about 500 or 600 metres over in that direction, upwind. I can hear them occasionally, but they're not disturbing me. Well, I have my dinner all ready to eat. I've even got a nap. It's windy. So I have here sweet and sour chicken and mushroom rice. Well, and it's hot, which is very important. Excuse me while I eat this for a little while. I'll get back to you later when I do my pudding. Well, I'm still all completely zipped up, the inner zipped as well, staying really very warm indeed. It's cold out. I think the wind is dropping, which is a good sign for the night, but you never really know. The forecast is for it to continue, pick up a little bit around 2, and the potential of rain around 2 as well, but hopefully I'll be asleep at that time. It might wake me up. We'll see. Now's a good time to have a quick guided tour around my tent inside here, see what gear I've got for this winter. In no particular order, I've got my Rab Ascent 1100. I got the XL. I bought the XL just to give me that little bit more space. I'm not really an XL person, but it just does give that extra space, which I'm grateful for. One of the key features about this Rab Ascent sleeping bag is this quite wicked zip thing here. It's supposed to be non-snagging, and it's pretty good actually. See this massive wedgy thing here. I certainly find it better than some of the other sleeping bag zips I've been using. Right, swivelling around, let's have a look around this side of the tent. I've got my flex tail pillow, of course, and this time I've got a Berghaus sleeping pad for a change. I've swapped out the Thermarest pad that I've been using for years. It's still very good. I don't have a problem with the old pad that I've got, saving that for really cold weather. This weekend it's a bit more mild really. I wanted to buy a pad that would at least suffice if it had a puncture. This Berghaus has its own internal sort of wadding, which I think, if it had a puncture, would still at least provide some adequate degree of thermal protection. Its R value's 3, so it's not as good as the Thermarest I've got, but certainly for tonight, it's my choice. I like my Sulu. I can sit up, turn around, lots of space for being inside for hours on end in the winter time. Well, it's just after 9:30, and I won't be sleeping here. There's a few hours yet of staying awake. I think I did have a bit of a doze earlier on, but only for a few minutes. So I'm going to have another hot chocolate. I will then go out, check the lines, make sure that the orientation of the tent is still into the wind. I fear that either I didn't pitch it head into the wind, or the wind has moved. I did check that it was into the wind, but anyway, I think the wind is over my right shoulder here, which is not ideal. It should be really into the wind, head into the wind. So I could just check that later on. But in the meantime, hot chocolate time. Lovely hot choc. Oh, it's a bit full. Nice. Do you find that these pop-up mugs, I mean, they're brilliant, aren't they? Of course, pop-up, don't take any space. Easy to lose in your bag if you're not organised. But do you find that they fall over too easily? I've had some near misses since I've had this lovely little mug. I've sort of taught myself to either pop it in another dish or something to keep it upright, or stick it in my boot actually. Way too easy to knock over. Well, like we were saying earlier on, 15 hours or thereabouts in my tent. Now, not all the time. I will pop out, check the guy lines, do a wee stretch, and be back. But basically, 15 hours in the tent. So how does that work? How can that be comfortable? Well, I got 5 basic top tips. None of them are absolutely inspirational, but all very useful to keep in mind. Right, so here's number 1. Keep a tidy tent. Spend time, invest time in just fiddling, sorting out, moving things around, making sure that the right things are in the right place while it's dark at night. Invest time in keeping a tidy tent. Everything should have its place. Whatever your layout is in your tent, stick to it. Check it. I've already spent a bit of time earlier on checking that I've got all my bits and pieces more or less in the right place. Okay, tip number 2. Do things. Actively engage your mind and use some time to do things. So you might see something not in the right place. Get on and sort it out. My trangie, for example, I had to do some washing up after lunch. It's easy to just leave the pots, like at home, isn't it? Leave the pots on the side. But actually engaging a bit of effort, doing things, time disappears. So I've spent time washing up my bowl after making my meal earlier on. I've also spent some time sorting out some battery bits for my GoPro and making sure that I'm ready to roll with my charging my phone later on. Obviously earlier on I got my bed out, blew up my mat, pillow and got my sleeping bag out. It's easy to think you can rely on just using phone time to while away the hours. Well, there's an element of that. I replied to a couple of messages. Reception here is rubbish, so I can't do things like YouTube or watch any films. I thought I'd downloaded a film, but it seems not. And also, independent of whatever the weather is chucking at you, it's important to pop out at least once or twice during the night. Check around the tent, make sure all the lines are adjusted, make sure the tent is shipshape or tent shape. So that's top tip number 2, do things. So tip number 3 is think and do some planning. So one of the things I haven't done yet myself is got my map out just to look at the route that I'm going to take tomorrow from the tarn, the little lake here, up Corndu, round and back down to Linleys and pick up my car again. So here we are, there's the little lake that I'm camped right next to, just on that northern side just there. Tomorrow morning, off zigzag path, around just a little bit off the map there, round, up past the obelisk, Corndu, round to Penifan, up and over Penifan. I don't suppose it's too busy tomorrow. It's Sunday tomorrow, but the weather, I'll be there quite early, so there won't be the hordes of people even on the Sunday. All the way around and zigzag back down, and then the little country paths back round to Linleys. As well as looking at map, I'll spend a bit of time thinking about the next couple of days that I've got, because this is actually a 3-night trip for me. This is night 1. Well, tip number 4 is just simply doing things slowly. There's no rush, there's no pressure to meet a deadline or get things done in any particular rush. So just let things take as long as they like. There's not much worse than just that feeling of being just hemmed in and stuck inside your tent. And that feeling can often kind of grow if you're trying to do this and trying to do that and can't move your arm and getting twisted around on your legs while you're moving around. So just go slow. Let things take time. If you think, oh, I just need to do that, do it slowly. But before doing anything slowly, do a little bit of thinking, do some planning. Can I do anything else while I'm doing that? If I'm popping out, what else can I do? If I've got to go down to that end of the tent, what else can I do while I'm down there? As if it's a long way. But sometimes, smaller tent, it can be hard work turning around and reaching down to the other end of the tent. We know what that's like. And tip number 5, well, simples. Set an alarm early for the following morning. Now, daybreak here is going to be about 7:30. It's the middle of January, so it'll be about 7:30. So I anticipate being pretty well up, ready and off by maybe 8 o'clock. So it takes me, including a little bit of filming, about an hour to wake up and be off the pitch spot. So allowing for that, I'm going to set my alarm. So if I want to be off at 8, 7 o'clock, say 6:45, just to give myself a bit of snooze time. So there we are. Tip number 5, set an early alarm. So bearing all of those things in mind, the next thing I'm going to do is pop outside, do a final wee and check all my guy lines, just make sure that my tent is head into the wind. Let's do that now. swapped out those 2 ordinary pegs for the Delta pegs, so that's much better. No wonder the tent was flapping a bit. I have checked the other ones and the rest are okay. I've got 2 more Delta pegs I can deploy if I need to. I usually carry 4. Oh, well, that was entertaining. Just well, I popped out and had a look at those pegs. Always check pegs before bedtime. Wasn't too windy really to do any damage, I don't think, but if the wind had picked up, which it's due to again about 2, he says, then potentially the tent is at risk, not being supported properly. But all is good now. I've got 2 more Delta pegs if I feel I need to use them. Right, I'm going to sort a few things out and get myself in my pit, I think. Ooh, heck, that light's a bit bright for this time of night. It's just after 11:30, so it's time for me to turn that little dangly light out and get some sleep. Alarm set for 6:45. I'll see you in the morning. Oh, I just put that light on. It's a bit bright in the morning. Good morning. It's just after 7. Snoozed a couple of times, which was to be expected. Sun up is in, I think, about 45 minutes. Slept well. Disturbed a few times. It's certainly been windy during the night. Popped out once briefly just to check on the lines again, but all is absolutely fine. Even now, the wind is calm like this, and then suddenly big whooshy wind. It's funny. Right, let's get to it. Oh, it's clear. It's clear. Nice. Morning. That's me packed up, all the bits accounted for in my bag, including absolutely crazy fact I've picked up a couple of other bits left behind from other people, just little bits. The ridge looks pretty rugged. I can't see the obelisk, although I can see the obelisk just about. So I'm going to go up the zigzag path here. Zigzag all the way along the top, past the obelisk, up to Corndu, all the way around Penny Fan, and then down that ridge and back to the car. How long is that going to take? 5-10 minutes? A bit longer maybe. And I don't think there's going to be much in the way of views. That is full on claggy mist blowing about. Might be lucky. Anyhows, let's do it. Good morning.
Did you sleep down there?
Yeah.
It was lovely, wasn't it?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Was it?
Hey, look, just talking to these guys on the way up. Said hello to them as you do, and morning. You know you're Sam recognised me from my channel. How about that? I think that's the second ever. So thank you. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries.
Have a good day, mate. Have a good day. Yeah. Bye for now. How about that? Oh, super good. Nice one. Sam and family. Oh. Obelisk just up ahead as the cloud just kind of whooshes all around. I can just make out the little lake in between the gusts of cloud coming past, and just there, oh, it's going again, just there is where I camped last night. What a cracking little spot. And the sun is actually trying to shine. There's a bright light behind the obelisk. Tommy Jones. It's actually hard to read the inscription. I couldn't remember the date. It's actually 1900, so 124 years ago. Poor little boy was 5 when he died. Let's keep going. This bit of the trail is actually fairly straightforward. Just along the edge path here, along to where Dan and I camped a couple of years ago, and then from there, Corndu is up. There's some scrabbly bit of track to negotiate there. I've got my hands around my GoPro, trying to keep some of the wind noise away. I'm just at the path junction, where the path comes up from the Story Arms and where I come up from the obelisk. Behind me is Corndu. No chance of videoing anything on the way up. Couldn't see anything, and the wind is chronic. I love it. So leaving Corndu behind, heading now down towards Penifan. Sunday, so lots of people queuing to get up. Heading back to the car now. It'll take a while. I'm not doing this quickly. starts clearing a little bit. Just come down another, oh, I don't know, couple of contours, and oh, he's clacking over again just as he speaks. Now I can't see anything. Oh well. But just ahead there, I saw just a few moments ago, is the Alt Dew Ridge peak. Well, penny fan, penny fan and corn dew still covered in bubbly, boily cloud. But I can just see the little lake and where I camped last night, and the zigzag path behind. That's easy to see, and I can see I was a little bit high on the approach up to the lake last night, just a bit, not by much. And then Pen Milan coming off the side there. Hey, what a lovely area, all green. I'm back down to the little roads, so that's it really. Most of the trek is over, just a short walk back to the car. Thank you for sticking with me, assuming you've stayed with me all this way to the end. Appreciate that. If you have any comments, suggestions about the route, ideas for other routes, please do say. Pop a little thumbs up as well. So, from me in the sunny Brecon Beacons, thanks for watching and bye for now.